evening. Good evening. Welcome back to the end of the week. If you guys were paying attention earlier, depending on what you are looking at, you may have seen us on discussing some things about life abroad. But if you didn't, no worries. We have some, I would say, useful things, as always, to be able to give you guys that will help you. These things are going to help you with this whole entire move abroad process if that is why you're tuning in. You're just tuning in to watch, good for you. Welcome. But these conversations that we have are designed to help people prepare. So, a lot of people don't realize that you do need some preparation when it comes to moving abroad. No matter what education that you may have, there is no designed way to go about doing this. You didn't run into this in a class. There was so many things that American education does not teach you about what goes on outside of America, and a lot of people are starting to consider moving abroad. But how? One of the things that goes on, I see all the time, is telling people to do their research. Well, what research is that if you have no basis of where to go off of? So what we try to do is give some people, that are looking to move abroad, something to go off of, something to use that they can craft and put some foundation around their move abroad process. Some people are looking to move really soon. Some people are looking to move in the next 6 months to a year. Who knows who is watching this, but what I will tell you is there are some things that you can start to do now because despite where your timeline may sit, you're going to run into an issue not realizing just how many things are keeping you in the United States. There are a lot of anchors in the United States that Americans have. They can come down to material things, they can come down to social things, they can come down to even the glasses that America gave you about what to expect. A lot of Americans get used to hearing the word immigrant and in the same vein, not realizing that them too are looking to put themselves in being an immigrant to another country if you're looking to move abroad. Even with those who aren't looking to move abroad, most Americans have heard other countries being third world countries. And from America's lens, it is possibly easy to see how that could be, allegedly. But you guys have to realize that what America told you, I wouldn't, from my perspective, is not true. However, what you may find is that it is not true. What they said about other countries, what they said about what you need to be happy, and all of the things that you need to acquire in order to achieve the American dream. Well, once I get this, I will now have the American dream. It's every American's dream to own some things. And I think it's even now. I think when the American dream started, it was just having a home ownership. And that has gotten really weird in the United States because people are losing their houses after they have paid them off. And it's like, well, do you own the house? These are all realistic things that you have to realize that you are going through. And when you talk about some of the things that you can do, we have to talk about the stuff you have. Because a lot of you have way more than you actually need and are still lacking such greatly in other areas. You might have 10, 20, 30, 40 pairs of shoes. How many jeans do you own? And clothes, shirts, and jackets. And if you live in a place where fall fashion is a thing that is on your radar, how many clothes have you accumulated? Now, as a person that lives abroad, I don't have half as many clothes that I used to have. You may often see me in a shirt that you've seen. I do a lot of videos. However, I don't carry a lot of things anymore. But you guys are looking to move abroad, not realizing that you may need to get down when you do decide to leave. 3 check bags, 1 carry on, and a personal item. Could you fit the things that you're thinking of into a bag that is like that? Multiple bags, thinking that, oh, well, it's 3 bags, 50 pounds apiece. Well, how tall are you? If you got long shoes like myself, how many shoes can you fit into that bag before you are at your weight limit? Some of the things you can do now is start to take a look at that. Do I need all of these things? Do I need to have the opposite of a minimalist lifestyle? Do I need to have an excessive lifestyle? How many people have so many clothes and so many this and so many that, and they could go literally weeks without wearing the same thing? Yet, how many of those same people are still struggling with how much things may cost, or at the end of the day, just aren't even happy, never mind finances? So I ask you, where's the value in the things that you have accumulated? If you are really looking to move abroad, is it time? Well, it is time. But ask yourself, is it time to let those things go? Is it time to allow those things to have been something that was and no longer something that's going to be moving forward from today? Now it's up to you to shed some of these things and decide what it is that you want to do with this move abroad process, what things you want to take to, adhere to. But I tell you, I only spend my time here is because no one told us, and so many people. Luckily, I'm one of the people that did not have as much of a struggle moving abroad. However, I was connected in ways that most of you guys will never be connected and aren't connected now. That's just my story. I talk about the general story because I know most people don't know who I know or knew who I knew. You have to realize that you may be looking to move abroad and think you may look to move from Atlanta to California, and you're like, well, I know one or two people in Los Angeles, but I don't really know a lot of people. Well, imagine if everybody there spoke a different language, came from a different culture. What would that look like? So you got to realize that some of that stuff, or honestly, most of the stuff and things that you have in the United States, it's not coming with you. And you need to be okay with that. The value is not where the stuff and things lie. The value is in what you can do in this life. Some people have heard the thought process of reincarnation. I'll come back in another life. Well, do you remember? No, even if that is a possibility, you only have your life right here, right now. That's it. What do you do with that? Considering that you're looking to do a transformation. Now, you might not have realized that moving abroad was going to be a transformation. It was going to shake you up, make you do things, learn things, challenge yourself in ways that you did not realize that you were going to be challenged. But when do you start the process? Do you think you're going to start the process once you bought the ticket, once you sold all of your things, once you go to a place where you don't speak the local language fluently? Even if you speak the local language fluently, as far as Spanish, most people don't realize that are not native Spanish speakers just how different Spanish accents are. The accent in Colombia, from Cartagena to Bogota to Medellin, they're all different. Never mind Colombian Spanish versus Ecuadorian, Panamanian Spanish. You've got Dominican Spanish, Puerto Rican Spanish, Chilean Spanish, Argentinian Spanish. Wait, you didn't tell me it was all of this. Did you think? Did you give yourself a little pause to realize that you're Spanish? You ask people, do you speak Spanish? Well, I took Spanish in high school. And how long ago was that? I tell people, if you took Spanish in high school, throw it away. Just, I mean, not throw it away, but that if you have taken it in high school or even taken it in college and haven't used it since then, yes, you might know hola, buenos dias, gracias, but that's probably where your level goes. It's language is something where if you don't use it, you probably will lose it. Trust me, I've seen so many people not speak their native language in a while and get back home and be a little rusty with the colloquial sayings. So you guys have to realize it's going to be a process, and you can start today. Think about all that stuff you have. Go into your walk-in closet, look at all those shoes, and think, do I need this? I clearly can't take all of it. I'm looking to move, but am I really ready to move? Because if you can't get over that hump, then how are you ready to leave? Seriously. If America has sold you and it is so heavy, the anchor that are shoes and clothes and different things of that nature, what do? You guys might be in a situation where it's like, oh man, I want to really buy a new car, but you also want to leave and move abroad. Why would you go get yourself into a new lease, 2 years, 3 years, new car note, whatever the case is, if you have ambitions on leaving? I tell people there are people that are in September now that in January, when I was having conversations with people, were like, I'm not moving abroad. Why would I ever do that? That now are in September are on the other side of this conversation. Like, what you got to say about moving abroad? Because this is not sustainable. So I tell people to have flexibility, even if you're not completely sold on moving abroad, but it may be something that you're thinking about. Just consider it. Why put yourself into a new lease, a new rental agreement? You've seen how wildly things have changed in the last 6 months. What you thought was going to happen in March to get to September, you're like, I just wasn't on my bingo card. What do you do? Why renew your lease with America? It's not just a car, or you guys are digging in deep, not realizing that that may be a reaction to all of what you see around you as a what the heck is going on? There's so many things that even the people that may not be looking to leave, like, period, like, no, there's nothing that you can say. Just consider how much stuff you have. Is that where your value lies in your life with people? Is that where? Because I know for a fact America has sold it and told you that was where it's going to lie. You are going to be better off with this new thing that you need. What do you guys put into consideration where it's like it's almost like somebody with a bad habit? It's like you keep chasing this feeling that you're looking to get, and it's maybe you get it and you see how fleeting it is. It's like water. It's like you go to pick it up and it just falls through your hands. What do you do in looking that your body is actually craving something? You think that that thought process that you go through when you look to reward yourself, buy yourself something nice, and the opportunity to wear what it is that you brought. Well, how many times can you wear it before it's like, okay, I wore this once, it was nice, people said I look nice, but that's really about it. Your body comes and craves that feeling again, that dopamine, but not realizing that you aren't giving it actual things of substance. You're putting yourself in a scenario to always be craving consumption and not really eating or getting and receiving something that will last. Yeah, like you guys are looking for lasting substance. Too many times people in America have gotten away from understanding that we are only on this world to be with each other. I know you need the bends. The Shadura dude, the Rolly, you need that, right? So many people have gotten those things and are in a position that you are in. You getting tired of chasing and they getting tired of having, and y'all both at the same point where like there may be better elsewhere. You guys have to take these feelings and realize that they're useful if you use them. That feeling that you have that you're chasing when you go to buy something new, that's because your body, your spirit, your soul is craving something else. But if you keep giving it candy and your body's like, I need a steak, I need something that's going to sit with me, or I need something that is filling or that is good that I can go endure a journey. You guys are putting together trinkets and not realizing that the more trinkets you buy, the more things that you are going to have to go about unplugging when it's time to go leave. You guys don't realize that that is part of the reason why so many people don't want to leave. I literally have had people tell me, well, I need my stuff. Well, stay where the stuff keeps you. Get what the stuff gets you. Just don't be mad when you look up and that stuff can't provide you the life experience, can't provide you anything at the age. If you think that people are 85 years old and are looking in their closet with all their bags and all of their stuff and all of their things. I mean, Warren Buffett's got more money than everybody and their mama put together. Yeah, Warren Buffett will tell you, like, I can't even buy any time. I got all this money and I can't buy time. I would rather be. I would give $100 million away to be 50 years younger. They will tell you this. You don't have time to buy. You only have things to buy. So getting into a scenario of understanding that you can start now. You have so much stuff. I know for a fact. I don't even have to know you. You are in a scenario where you have way too many things. I know it was a trauma response. Hopefully, this is a trigger to get you woken up about what it is that you need to put value in, what you need to start doing from a minimization perspective, understanding that decluttering your life and getting away from all of the value that is portrayed and stuff and things is actually going to be part of your journey in moving abroad. It's not just packing a bag, guys. This is a different thing. But it's one of the most beautiful things because most journeys you don't you don't get to have a transformation. There's things you go through college. I mean, there's certain transformations and certain things you go through, but this is on a global scale because you don't get involved and go to one country and do it the right way and then be like, well, I don't want to see any more of the rest of the world. You unlock the rest of the world. Some of you guys grew up dreaming about places that you've never seen. As a kid, and still to this day, I haven't been, but I grew up thinking about dreaming about Australia. These are things that I'm going to see. Whereas I'm not about to wait until I'm 65 at the average age of retirement, and then I'm going to decide, well, now I have the money, but my body hurts, but I still really want to go. Think about that. You can spend your life in America accumulating stuff and things, or start now minimalizing what it is that you're accumulating going forward, what it is that you have, and understanding that you don't need all of that stuff. It might have made you feel good. It might make other people think that you have value when they see your Louis Vuitton bag and your Gucci bucket and your Tory Burch slides and your Y3 shirt. But let me tell you something. Trust me, there's plenty of people with money, plenty of people with stuff and things that flaunt it and everything else. I would tell those people the same thing. The value in being alive is in community. It's in within each other. You don't see any, and you said this before, U-Haul trucks behind hearses. You see sad people. You should hopefully see sad people, or at least people that are in remembrance of the person because of the life they lived, not because of the things that they brought, the stuff that they purchased, the people that they purchased. No, they're about the people, how they made them feel, how their absence will make them feel that they're no longer there in life. We know this, but we seem to forget this in getting to the end. It's not until harrowing situations happen, deaths, funerals, where we start to realize we're not here that long. Depending on who you are and where you're from, you may have lost people that did not make it to the age that you are. Probably lost a bunch of old people too. But think about the people that had dreams just to be able to get to the age that you are, never mind growing old or seeing the world or traveling. Yet all of us in America, excuse me, so many people in America are in a scenario where they're like not realizing that it shouldn't take a Mack truck coming down your living room for you to wake up and understand that this life and what we have in the United States is only what you make out of it. And life is about living. So I ask you guys, how much of this stuff are you willing to get rid of to actually begin to live life? It's a question that only you can answer. But it is an opportunity that you're going to have to fight the urge every time you think that you want to not be a part of it. America's good. We just had Labor Day. We're celebrating the labor of the American workforce. You know what you guys need? Sale. President's Day sale. Thanksgiving sale comes Black Friday right there. Because you need to. Thanksgiving is wrapped up in Black Friday because Black Friday is the precursor to Christmas, which Christmas is an opportunity to take more time away from your family by taking up more hours at work so you can afford the things that they want that by January they're no longer even playing with. And well, I've seen it 1,000 times. How many times do you need to see it? I'm on the other side of TSA. You guys are in America talking about this is good. This is what I'm going to continue to do at like clockwork. for the rest of my life and then wonder why I don't feel the way that I'm supposed to feel about living. So I tell you guys to prepare to move is really to start within. Where is my value? Where is my core values? What is my core values in? Is it in how much things I can accumulate? These things that you see so many people now, they're like, I did all the Christmas stuff, but now we just go on vacation because I realized my kids appreciated going somewhere, learning something, eating some new food, trying something they've never done versus unopened boxes of toys or open boxes of toys that didn't make it to New Year's before it was like, we're bored or we got to go back to school next week. This is reality, and you know what I'm talking about. You know you've chased the thing and got it, and then realized it didn't have the allure. The allure was in the chase. It wasn't in the catch. Now, I know so many people are in different housing scenarios, and I tell you guys, listen, the housing market is weird. So if and I'm not a house owner, but if you are a house owner, like I would consider like what the market looks like at least, so you at least have some wherewithal in what it is. Because if you're looking to move, you might run into a scenario where all of a sudden you can get your house sold, or it takes a long time. And the importance of that could be because you're not going to go finance a house or finance a condo or an apartment. Often, in many of the places that people moving from America are looking to go. So, what do you do? What do you do? I would definitely tell you to make certain that if you are not in this scenario to have to renew any kind of housing lease, don't do it. Not if you're looking to leave, because it's going to make the process that much difficult. That much more difficult. That will honestly may keep you in the United States longer, even though you got your job and you everything is all figured out, but you don't have the liquid cash that you need to qualify for what you want. You don't have the peace of mind knowing that you tied up everything in the States and now you can go live abroad because that what was on your mind. Yeah, there's a lot of anchors because you know what else you got to do? You got to find a job, man. I know. I see it all the time. Like, it's not even on my stuff. I see it everywhere. But what jobs are available for me? I have been almost a broken record when I tell you guys just don't understand the power that you have. The American dollar abroad will do you better than the American dollar or any other dollar, abroad. If you think that you are going to be in a better position, giving up the ability to make an American dollar and then deciding to go make, I don't know, Colombian pesos, that is the wrong way to look at this. You need to start some things now. So if you do not have an online job, do not be like so many people I have seen that had to go back home because they ran out of money, thinking that because it's a third world country, it's a lie. That they were just going to take their $10,000 and just live like a king for the next 2 to 3 years because that's what they told them on the internet. However, that's not true. You guys are realizing that there are so many unquote experts, quote unquote, that are turning their light on and telling you these are the ways to move abroad. And they honestly just got outside. Passport still got a brand new, it might be issued in the year. Yet it's been a productive year for people. And I tell you guys, somebody telling you that you can just go and people are like, well, I can teach English. Do you have any experience teaching English? You can just, I speak English, so I can teach it. That's awfully audacious of you. Never mind if you are paid like a local. I got a homie. She was saying like her wages are like similar to what she made back in the States there, but she's also a teacher. But what they also do is one, I think they pay for like housing and transportation, maybe like a stipend, and then you also have things not being as expensive. So that dollar amount going there is pretty much the equivalent, but she's in a way where it doesn't cost as much. And I tell you, like, that is a unique scenario. Some of you are not specialists. Most of you are not specialists. So you're going to have to consider and say, alrighty, I do this right now. Well, to get an online job, what do you need to do? Be able to get online. You need to be able to utilize a computer. So I challenge those people who do not touch computers and have not really touched computers. And no, your tablet and your phone do not count. You need to start right now considering what to get caught up with to speed in, what you could be good at. But if you haven't touched a computer since college, since you used to type papers with one finger, how are you going to get a remote job? You are going to need to be at least like proficient on maneuvering around a computer, unless you have a pension. So somebody's going to give you money just because you're alive and have done work in the past. If you have a well, pensions, retirements, those kind of things. That's not who I'm talking to. I'm talking about the people that are actively in the workforce thinking that they're going to move with no job and just some savings, and that is a good plan. I tell you to stay until you actually have a plan. It's better that way. I know it's hot in America and you want to leave, but it's actually better for you in the long run because you may think that, oh, well, the job is only going to give me $40,000 a year. And from where you live at, $40,000 a year may be exactly what you make, maybe less than what you make, maybe more than what you make. I have no idea who you are. But what I will tell you is $40,000 in a major city does not go as far as it used to. Whereas $40,000 in other places may go further, even in places that you may not think. Like I've seen places in Eurocentric places that are literally like $900 for an apartment or $700 for an all furnished apartment. Furnished, everything's included. We're not seeing those prices in the United States. Those are like 1995 prices. These days, these things are in the thousands of dollars or $1,000+ a month for unfurnished, and you still you have to pay utilities. So I will tell you that yes, there's things going to be cheaper, but don't fall into the illusion that because things are cheaper, that you can go out there with no job and no way to make money and think that throw us in. Everything is great. All is good. All is good. It's not possible. You guys need to unhook and start to look. Unhook from America and start to look at the things that are going to allow you sustainability. I tell you guys, you don't need to make that number that everybody says, oh, I need six figures. You might not need six figures to move abroad. You might not. Now, you can go spend like that in any country you choose. That is a fact. But once you get that detachment from that stuff and things that we just talked about, buying a bunch of stuff and thinking that you like, the next prince of Brunei, you might realize that you just want a normal life. You just want to be able to pay for what it is and have a nice place to rest your head and go out, travel. These things are important. We often forget it. Rolex watches and Louis Vuitton slippers, Gucci flip flops, and designer bags. These things have been put in front of our face as value, and we have are now starting to realize that even with it, we're still coming up short. So what do? How do you do it? You got to realize that the research start from actually going off of some understanding, not lying to yourself, realizing that a new country is going to be a place where you are going to be a guest at. Consider it like, who house do I want to stay at? What do they do? What are their rules? How much do things cost? And you guys are so ready to jump out the frying pan because it's so hot in the United States, and you're taking the $5,000 monthly budget for all of your things that you have to pay, and considering, well, even if I pay $3,000, I'm coming up. That's $2,000 less. But what if you could live the exact same lifestyle at 1,500? But because you and everybody that you know, everybody that decided to move abroad or move there, decided that $3,000 was the next benchmark. Well, you guys have seen things open up in the United States. Whereas once you turn on the light for how much things cost, it never goes back down. Give you an example. For example, gas prices. First time gas went up to $3 a gallon. People were like, "What? What are we doing? There's no way. I'm not. There's no way. There's no way. How are people going to get to work? This is unsustainable." Well, how much is gas where you are? Probably about 247, 350 somewhere. Not that California used to be the $3 gas, and then now that's in the fours and the fives in some places. Once you turn on, like capitalism is not going to shy away from making more money for the machine. So once you turn on the light of opening this up, once you go reset the market because you don't know how much things cost, and then you come into an influx scenario. That's why local people are upset about not even just Americans, foreigners coming to their local places and almost resetting the market. Let me give you an example because you might be like, well, how am I supposed to know? Oh, there's Google and TikTok and Facebook and everything else, and y'all act like y'all just ill-educated or my fingers is broke now, so I can't look into these things. You will look up anything you want to, but acting like you don't know why somebody would be upset. How many people live in United States in cities where it used to be a certain mix of people? Now you walk around, you don't even recognize your neighborhood. Now you used to have a certain type of cost that you could expect in that neighborhood. But now, including with the new people, it costs more to live where you've always lived. Imagine you have a certain kind of thing that goes in the neighborhood. It's always going on. It makes the neighborhood unique and what it is. Yet the new people are like, it's too loud. You guys see that all the time in the United States, in different cities. Yet you guys don't realize that you could be the new people. You come and not knowing the language, not knowing how things have traditionally gone, not knowing how things have always been, not knowing that every Tuesday or Sunday they're going to shut down the streets, and everybody's just going to be walking. So you have to plan your day and your life around that. That's an inconvenience to you. So you guys have to realize, like, you're gonna have to understand that you could start some of these things now. What do people do on a Sunday in Colombia? What do people do on a Sunday in Thailand? What does Christmas look like in these places? What do people do on the weekends when they don't have to work? Oh, people get out in the middle of the day during work, go home, eat lunch, and then go back to work and finish their jobs. Does that happen where you're looking? These are all things, and this nothing that I've said tonight cost you any dollars. Isn't that crazy? But you guys are putting these roadblocks in front of you and saying, "Well, I don't know where to start, so I'm not going to." And it's just like, okay, take a deep breath. Look at all that stuff you got. Start there. Eminem said, "What? Cleaning out your closet? You need to clean your closet out because you have a lot of things in there. And those material things are actually relics of your life that you think had value. They're not. And the more you start to get rid of them and walk away from them, you're going to be in a scenario where you're like, yo, you almost got me. I almost spent my life chasing something that actually had no value, accumulating a bunch of things that realistically my body kept asking for something and I kept giving it the wrong stuff and it kept craving it. And now I know what it is. It's freedom. It's peace. It's peace as a human being on this earth. I think that's what everybody wants. I guarantee you, if nobody's on this earth to work. If you could have whatever money that it is that you needed to live the life that you wanted, would you go to work? Let me ask you this. If you didn't need money to live the life that you wanted to live, and you didn't need to go to work, would you? So you have to realize the only reason we're showing up for these things is because you can't get this time or the ability to do these things without it. But you have to realize that it's not the focal point of where your life starts, ends, and begins. Like starts and ends. It's not. You're only doing these things so you can do what you would like to do. Spend time with the people that you want to spend. You didn't grow up as a kid and saying, I can't wait till I'm an adult so I can get a Gucci belt. It's going to be the best thing ever in my life. That's not we just wanted to be around our loved ones. Go to grandma's house, hang out. Yet we are in a scenario where we're not realizing that we seem to forget that. In America, I get it. It's giving you guys some, hey, what's going on? Giving you guys some reason to forget it. But it is actually time for you to understand that it is time to put it behind you. And not just saying leave America, put America behind you. I'm saying this thought process where stuff and things are going to be the thought of how we consider the good or bad that is going on in our life. We need to reshape these things. And these are all things that you can start right where you are today. When people ask me about thinking about, is it more so the act of moving abroad, like actually packing your stuff and like figuring out on how to do that and all that, or is it just the mindset of it all? Your mindset is everything in this. It does not come down to the physical act of it, because that part is the easy part. You can follow A to Z exactly what to do. First things first. Determine what you need to put in, put it into a bag, book a ticket, go on Airbnb, find a place, research neighborhoods and all of that stuff. Like, these are actionable items. You can just do that. But I could lead you through all of these exercises and you still not be ready. You could literally go, there's so many malls in Colombia, in Medellin specifically. You could go and have sold all your stuff, and then you realize you're saving $3,000-$4,000 a month off your monthly bill, and then you just turn that into more clothes and stuff and things that in Colombia. Just go and get a shopping habit in Colombia. It's easy. Go get a shopping habit in Thailand. It's easy. What do you want? You're going to take you wherever you're going to go. That's why it's like you need to reset yourself before you leave. So that way, when you get there, you already have an understanding of who you no longer want to be. Because if you think that you're going to just jump over here tomorrow, you know what? I'm moving abroad. I ain't watching nobody. I haven't done any research. I don't know how much things cost. I just heard that it's $30 bottles and $400 a month apartments. I'm out. You're gonna end up being one of these people on the summer jam screen talking about something. They got me, oh, it wasn't like it was supposed to be. That's the unfortunate part, because those things will go viral. The mindset is what makes people not want to see foreigners in their local neighborhoods, because you have this thing sometimes where you want to take on the people that you despise. You look up and realize that you have now become the people that you say you don't like. Yeah, I've seen it happen. So many people. But remember that Nick Cannon movie, Love Don't Cost a Thing? He bought that girl's love. He turned into the cool kid, and all of a sudden he started not hanging out with his friends. Once he got a little shine, start acting different. That's y'all. Like a lot of y'all act like the moment that y'all get on the other side of that, you said that nobody likes a guy like that. Well, nobody likes people that come looking like I'm looking to buy everything because I've got more money than you. Okay, Richie Rich. You're gonna meet the people that you don't want to meet with things like that. And that's why I try to tell people. Your mindset is going to be your biggest success tool, your key to success in actually going about doing this successfully. Because if you don't go about shedding that stuff and things mentality, you're going to come out here. Next time you go to this is funny because you're going to be in the airport and you see him, you're going to be like, there you go. He's got the Versace shirt on. It's only buttoned from the bottom, so it's only the last two buttons. He's got a big watch on. He's in the airport. And he's got sunglasses. Yeah, he's on his way. You see him on the flight on the way to Colombia. He's on Tinder already. He is in the terminal. He's not even on the other side of immigration. He is in the United States in the terminal. Like, I am going to rack up. And it's just like, y'all don't understand. Y'all looking like Paulie D at Jersey Shore. Y'all got to chill. Y'all have to understand that this is not, the world doesn't care what you have. The world cares who you are. You have to understand that you are going to be wearing a jacket of America and get that first. In reality, you're a really nice guy and you may have none of the American stink on you, but they don't know that. And you might not even know that. You're like, I got something on my face. Why everybody looking at me like that? You got something on your face. So you have to realize your mindset in understanding that, yes, I'm a guest. No one was waiting for you or America to show up to save them, to help them. They weren't looking for that. They were looking for you or your civilianship. You guys know what crazy people. We found the lost people in the jungle. They wasn't lost. They've been there for generations. What you mean they lost? Just because you hadn't found them. That's how so many people go about moving abroad. You're walking around in your newfound land like, ah, and they're a lot less angry than I thought they would be. I've seen these things with my own two eyes. You can go on TikTok right now, on YouTube, Facebook, and you can see people walking around and like, look at them. And you can see like, why are you putting people cameras in people's faces? And they just trying to live their life. Y'all are coming over in places like that, not realizing that stems from where your mindset sits. And then wondering why you're having a bad time. Wondering why people say, you know what, that's about enough tourism. You know what, I'd rather not deal with it. It's because nobody's doing any research. Nobody's educating themselves beyond what their American understanding is. And not realizing that this thing isn't about a country's borders. Y'all, we gangbanging for countries. The only time rep is when the Olympics happen, the Summer Olympics. We got the Dream Team, you Team USA basketball. Start watching a bunch of stuff, archery. You know, I'm rooting for everybody black, so I'm like, let's go Team USA. But if somebody is from another country that's also with a hue, I might be rooting for them. I was rooting for Japan last night or something. No, Naomi, what y'all doing? So when I tell you go, nobody really cares about your country. I'm trying to tell you that from a global perspective, the people that I met, that I've taken the time to get to know, tried to learn a little bit of language, understand what they may have gone through in their life, their perspectives on things. I realized people just want to be seen. Everybody around the world, no matter what country, no matter life I want to go, if I gotta go to work, I want to go to work, work hard. I want to come home, be able to spend time with my family, my loved ones. Opportunities that humans need all of this stuff. And that's why I tell you, your mindset is going to be the biggest preparation. Reshifting your mindset, reevaluating where it is that you put your value into, practicing life abroad before living there. Y'all be so surprised. I come and go going to Colombia, and I'm like, I didn't realize how much of a melting pot the United States is. Because you go in Colombia, and it's just like a lot of just Colombian people here. Yeah, there's a couple black folks, white people from America, from Europe. Don't go over there and it's like city. Empty and say, well, let's have an opportunity to live in that land. It's a bunch of you can go practice some Spanish. You can go get some good food, probably get some good cuts of meat over there. Like, man, listen, you guys are cutting yourself short, not realizing where you are and the opportunities that you have. You think that it's difficult to go to a new place and start to learn a little language? You know, many of my friends in South America, And I needed to make sure they like good food. Abroad thing, big know where to start. You could be in a very short Koreatown. Listen, fear. You're scared. You're scared. Well, I don't know where to start, so I'm not going to start. That's the dumbest thing I ever heard. I don't know what to do, so I'm not going to do anything. All right. But they say life is going to pass you by. You're going to look up, and today won't be today. It will be yesterday. This is a situation where y'all have to wake up and realize. I do this because I realize that so many people have no education. They have no hand to hold or no person to lead them back and say, yo, this is what you may need to look into to do now, even if you, oh, well, you need to go what you want to do. You get abroad and everybody that either one, the other thing is you don't might need companies that things are hopefully something that can be your reality. I really don't know who needed to hear this message because a lot of y'all are sitting in positions where you're saying, well, I'm not looking to move abroad, so I might as well just wait until I'm looking and then I'll figure it out. And I'm like, listen, you are going to have way more now. But again, don't think about it. Let it go. And you don't got all the demos, but because of that type of same habits, do you not change your mindset in a way where it actually will benefit you and help in not only your life, but maybe you would see the world differently and bring kids in this world? Maybe they would. I will tell you is nobody's life stayed the same by leaving America, but you will be to go through. Figure that out. I can't tell you your time to I'll be back here tomorrow, right around even the tools that you need. You did not follow these things that I'm seeing abroad.